Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Wanshi here. Today, I'll be answering one of the most popular questions when we are learning Excel, which is what is the money logo mean in Excel and how does it help with our cell referencing? So this actually introduces us into two things. One is the absolute referencing, another one is relative. So when we are not using the money logo, so it means that we are doing the relative referencing. However, if we want to fix the something on cell references, then we will need to use this money logo because the money logo will lock the cell reference and it will not change regardless if we copy to another cell or even drag down from A1 to A2. So later on, I'll be deep diving into it. Okay. Alright, now let's start by practicing it in the actual scenario. Okay. So the first one is the absolute column. This absolute column means that we will be locking the column in the cell when we are referencing it. So for example, let's start with the equal formula. Then when we are doing cell referencing, we can directly click onto the cell. And for absolute column, what we can do is that we will lock the column. Column meaning that is the alphabet number, which is the I over here. So how we can lock it is that we press F4. And now you can see that we are locking both I and 8, but now we only want the locking the column. So we press again. And this one we will be locking the row. And we'll press another time. So this will show that we are locking the I only. So now we'll press enter. And when we drag down this, you'll see that it will automatically lock the I as well. So it's the I8, the I9, locking the I10, locking I11, and locking I12. Now moving forward is the absolute row. So we will just cell reference for this. Then again, we will just use the F4 to lock and click again to look at the 8. So you can see that the I is not locked and the 8 is being locked over here. So I click enter. So just be very careful, look at it when we are dragging it down. So you can see that this actually remains the same. It will show the thumbs up icon because we are locking down the number 8, the row 8 over here, and when we drag down, it will not move according to the row, even though the current selected is row 12. Then the next one is relative referencing. So this actually means that it's a free range. So we are not locking anything, and we can just go to cell referencing and just drag it down. So you can actually see that the absolute column and relative referencing is the same. It is not always the same for absolute column and relative referencing. And now let's increase the difficulty a little bit. Now we will be relative referencing with rabbit. So how we can do this is we click on the rabbit, then we just concatenate, just insert the ampersand, then open quote to make it some space in between, and then ampersand again. Then we will just reference on the thumbs up. And we got the rabbit and a thumbs up. And if we drag down, try to think a little bit what will happen if we drag this down. Okay, I hope you have some idea in your mind already. And now let's see if this will give us a correct result or not. The ideally is that we will want the rabbit and then followed by the icon behind it. So the next one will be rabbit and the 1, 2, 3, and then rabbit and the smiley face. But this one actually give us some different answer, and this is not what we are expecting. And the reason being is this. So when we click onto this, and you can go to the formula bar and just to have a look. So when we drag down, the cell will reference on the next cell because we are not locking any of the row or the cell references. That's why this will move to I6 and I9. So I6 actually empty, and then I9 is 1, 2, 3. So this, we should have like to lock it at the rabbit level, but because of we are using relative referencing, we did not. The same goes to this. So this one, you move down further to I7, which is really relative to this referencing to sample, and then it is referencing to this money list. So actually, the row here is same. It's actually correct, but the thing that we want to fix is actually on the rabbit level. So later on, just think a bit. Later on, we'll come back here and see how we can do this in a better way. Now we will come to our next example, which is the absolute row referencing. So in this case, we want to calculate the final price after the markup. So here, we will want to get the initial price times the markup. But in this case, we would want to lock the row because we want to maintain, we want to have the initial price over here times the markup when we drag down. So we can do this is by pressing F4, and we will want to lock the row. So just press Enter, and when we drag down, you'll see that this is the final result that we want. Now we'll come to the next example, which is the absolute column. So in this case, again, we'll want to find out the initial markup price of the 20%, 30%, 40%. So we'll just go to second times the C. And in this case, we want to drag it horizontally. So we will want to lock the initial price, and then for the markup percentage, which one do you think that we should lock? Is it the column or is it the number? So the ideal is that we will want to move it from C to D, E, and F. So in this case, we want to lock the row number only. So we can just make it free range for the C and then lock it at the 2. So click Enter, and then we just drag it to the side, and there you go. We have the answer. So again, this one we will just do the same. Lock it and then lock it at the 2. There we go. Alright. So the final one, I'll just show you an example. What happens if we do not lock at the B5? So you can see this one, I'll just lock. Sorry. This one we will lock 2. And if we somehow forgot to lock the B5, you'll see that the number is actually a bit weird, because when we are referencing this, it's like this one, the B5 will move to C5, and it will times with E2. Then here, you will use D5 to times with E2. So this is not the final result that we want. And we will want to lock this row, and then drag it across. Yeah. Then that's the end result that we have. Coming back to this, so how we can do this? How do you think is the correct referencing with the rabbit after the book samples that we have gone through together? So here, we will want to reference the rabbit and then just do some spacing and concatenation, then just click Enter. Okay, so in here, we want to fix the rabbit position because we always want to have the rabbit, right? And then from here, you can just lock the I, or actually leave it on the referencing. It works also. Then you just drag down, and you see that every row has the rabbit, and it has all the information that we want as well. Alright, I hope you learned something from this video. And if you enjoyed this content, please consider to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Alright, see you next time.